Hello all my beanie weenies and welcome back to my channel. I am of course the voice of Sims Hot Dogs, and can you believe that we're actually on the finale of the Sims 4 Are You the One series? Because I can't. This is one of the fastest series I've had on the channel. I hope you guys like how many episodes we've had so quickly and that I didn't kind of draw it out like I usually do. But it just feels so sudden that we're actually finally here. Tonight we have so much stuff planned. Not only do we have the final moments here in the house with our unmatched house guest, but we also check out what all of our honeymooners have been up to. We also have a wedding in store between Felicity and Jonas, and of course we have our last matching ceremony where we find out if everyone is going to find their perfect match and walk away with some money, or if they're all going to go home empty-handed. So now Vince is the only guy left in the house. So there's 5 girls and 1 boy. It's certainly a strange dynamic, especially since we don't really know which one of them is going to end up with another girl and which one of them is actually going to end up with Vince. It's almost like we're playing The Bachelor right now. He's, our one single male, and everyone's kind of either fighting for his attention or they're just going to end up getting with each other. It's pretty strange. I feel like these couples now towards the end of the show, I don't know, it really shows that maybe I don't want to say that they're not perfect matches, but I find it interesting that they haven't found each other yet. But we see that a lot of the girls are kind of mingling and trying to talk to Vince, maybe get some alone time with him, or they're just relaxing and celebrating their last few days here. So we see, of course, a lot of dancing and a lot of drink making because the party never stops in the Are You the One house. So I feel like this shot kind of breaks down the dynamic of the house pretty well to me. We see Vince is mostly talking and attracted to either Kayla or our newest girl, Cassidy. Recently, as soon as she arrived, we saw that they instantly connected, they woohooed, and they paired up together, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are a perfect match. But I feel like the only other option for him so far would be Kayla when it comes to any kind of romantic vibes. But of course, his attraction to Cassidy has not subsided at all so far, and as we can see, they are still flirting, they're still feeling each other, and there's definitely still some sexual chemistry between them. So I think, I don't know, it's interesting. It's like he can either be with her or be with Kayla potentially, and then we have to match up the other girls. Cassidy hasn't really formed any bonds with anyone else in the house, so it's kind of hard to imagine which girl she would get with. And I feel like the other girls are just like so versatile. We've seen them talk to a lot of people, but not with each other at all, which is pretty strange. But of course, like I was saying, the sexual chemistry between Cassidy and Vince is palpable. And we see that along with Alice glitching around the place. How random. I'm trying to talk about other people right now, Alice. Stop trying to get my attention. Okay, so Cassidy and Vince, they're just so into each other that, of course, they're upstairs woohooing once again. But leave it to the girls downstairs. I'm sure one of them is going to try and join them.
Krifoba. 1G? Oh, nervous. Shib.
Yep, and just like I thought, we see Rosalie and Zeb going upstairs, seeing the action that's going on, and she's honestly kind of annoyed about it at first. She's like, I wasn't invited to this from the get-go. Like, what the heck? Why did I have to find this on my own? But she still doesn't really care, strips down, and joins Vince and Cassidy. This just continues to complicate things. They can never just agree to hook up with one person. It's always a group things. And that's not how this game works, okay? It's not a group game, it's a pair game. We did see that there was a little bit of chemistry going on a little bit ago between Latoya and Alice. Oh wow, I almost forgot their names there. I've been doing so good this season, I feel like. Can you guys be proud of me a little bit for remembering some names of Sims I created? Because whew, that is my biggest struggle, for real. It looks like Kayla is a little bit mad, though. Probably that she's not upstairs getting the action with Vince or anything. So instead, she ends up joining Alice outside, and the two of them start their own little party. I feel like this shot is so scary. Like, Latoya's just trying to hang out and watch some TV. She ends up turning it off, and as she walks out, creepy old Vlad Daddy ends up coming up to the front door and, of course, trying to get some blood from our fellow contestants. However, no one really pays any attention to him. I would have been freaked out if I was Latoya, but instead she just walks right on past him, heads into the bathroom, and draws herself a nice, luxurious bath, and she's going to soak all of her troubles away. I feel like out of everyone, she's definitely the one enjoying her time in the house and the amenities that provides, while everyone else is just kind of watching television. But poor old Vlad Daddy gets ignored outside as he listens to the threesome upstairs come to a completion, and we see that he solemnly walks away, not getting any action for himself. Sorry, Vlad Daddy. However, the party still continues outside with Alice and Kayla, and Cassidy ends up going and cleaning off with Vince and trying to, I don't even know what I was going to say there. The party continues outside as we now see Rosalie joining the little dance sesh they have going on in the backyard. And I feel like when it comes to the dynamics of this house, Rosalie might be kind of complicating things by joining threesomes and getting along with Vince and stuff like that. But I feel like at the end of the day, Cassidy and Vince obviously have some kind of connection. We won't be doing a truth booth or anything, so we don't necessarily know for sure if they're a perfect match yet until tonight. But it does kind of seem like the two of them are a pair. Meanwhile, these four girls are a pair. They have kind of paired off. Wow, how many times can I say pair? Okay, they have kind of coupled off, and we see Latoya and Rosalie kind of doing some flirting, and meanwhile, Alice and Kayla dance and enjoy each other's company. So, could these be the two perfect matches that are left in the house? Have we figured them all out so far? Is it, Latoya and Rosalie, Kayla and Alice, and then Vince and Cassidy being the last pair? Or are they getting it completely wrong? Okay, we have no idea until they pair up one more time and we see how many lights turn on tonight. However, it has started to rain and it broke all of the DJing equipment. The music completely comes to a halt, and Kayla is not happy about it. She's blaming Alice for some reason and has now stormed over there and started a complete argument with her. Don't really know what for. It's not her fault that it started raining, not her fault the party ended, but Kayla does not seem pleased. So I don't know, maybe this is a sign that they're not a couple and we don't have the pairings right. I have no clue. To hide away from the rain, all of the house guests end up going into the living room, and we see Alice continues the party by bumping the music over there in the corner, and we see Kayla and Rosalie getting to know each other a little bit better, getting a little closer to one another in front of the fridge. Latoya has started up a movie to watch. Meanwhile, Vince and Cassidy have not left each other's sides and are now playing a game of ping pong together. But, of course, inevitably, they all end up going into those pairs once again. Kayla and Alice are now dancing with one another. Rosalie and Latoya are watching television. And Vince and Cassidy are flirting. However, maybe they're having their first fight. It seems Cassidy is now in a little bit of a mood. For some reason, the rain has kind of brought on some anger in the house. Or maybe it's just some competitive tension as they start another round of ping pong. So I think we know what kind of couples are forming now in the main house. We'll have to wait until the matching ceremony to see if those are correct or not. But let's go ahead and check out some of our honeymooners, some of our confirmed perfect matches, and see how they're holding up inside their own individual honeymoon suites. So we're going to go and check out our first couple of matches that we found many moons ago, many episodes ago. They have been able to kind of hang out for almost, over half of the game, if not more. And they've just been getting to know each other. And I will say that some of these contestants you see right now will be returning to the channel sooner than you think, because they've had a lot of time to just hang out, that they've even had a little bit of extra time to film other television shows. I don't know. Of course, all of these lots are available on the Sims gallery at Hot Dogs Sims. However, these include a lot of custom content, as you can see by the beds, the couches, a lot of that stuff. But if you want any of that custom content, hit me up, message me, and I'll try to figure out which one's which and help you out. But I did leave the autonomy on for the first time here in the Honeymooner Suite. Every time I've been filming recently, they've just been kind of doing their own individual thing in their room. However, once I turned it on, they all started swapping rooms. So now all the couples are kind of mixed up. Gotta say, it's a little bit confusing for me, but we're gonna try to go with it. So over here in this room, we see that Robbie and Ariel are getting to know each other, while Jae Young is getting to know Sunny in another room. But it looks as though this little conversation, it doesn't actually seem to be that flirty or anything, but then they do agree to start massaging one another, and Robbie starts giving Benson a foot massage, which is a bit strange. Like, I guess that could be friendly. They weren't flirting or anything, but it is weird that they're now in a room together alone doing this while their perfect match is in another room with someone else. We see that Benson does end up coming in here and checking up on his perfect match, Robbie. Doesn't seem too phased as he heads into the toilet and pranks the toilet. Maybe this has all been kind of like a big plan. Robbie was meant to come over here and distract Ariel, while Benson was able to come and sabotage the toilet. Or maybe he's doing this as revenge because he's annoyed at Ariel for getting a foot massage. I don't really know. I'm not exactly sure, but he does end up taking a drink from their fridge, and hopefully this hotel, resort, whatever, doesn't have room service, because this is not his room. So, a bit awkward there. I feel like there's a little bit of tension going on between these house guests, and it's not exactly just sexual, even though I do think that is also in the air. Meanwhile, we see that Benson and Robbie return to their own room, and it looks as though Ariel sadly discovers the prank that Benson left behind.
Oh, Cribble Banooby! Rachel Jensini Tenko Glomp.
However, this is when things take a turn, okay? So there hasn't really been that much romantic sort of energy between the other couples. However, Yolanda is about to change that. She starts flirting with Benson right in front of Robbie, doesn't care that he's there, and honestly, Benson is kind of feeling it. He's not denying it, he's accepting the compliments, and Robbie is pissed and upset, and things just get a little bit worse when the two of them head over to the massage chair, and Benson starts giving her a hand massage. Now, yes, there could be a lot more intense massages he could be giving her. A hand one is kind of whatever, but I am totally on Robbie's side. I feel like I would be really worried if he's doing this already. We haven't even left the show yet. We're still in the honeymoon suite, and he's already somewhat flirting with other people in front of me. I would definitely be worried what he's going to do once we leave the show. They could be a perfect match, but it doesn't mean that Benson is going to act perfectly, and that's the case for all of them. So Robbie gets a pretty upset by all of this. He ends up even getting under the covers of the bed and just crying. And the two of them do actually notice that he's crying. They instantly stop massaging and they kind of just end the whole thing. But Robbie is not ready to let it pass. Instead, he gets up out of the bed and instantly starts cussing out Yolanda, telling her how inappropriate it is that she started flirting with his man in front of him in their room, and she's like shocked by it. I have no clue why she's so surprised, but she is. Meanwhile, there's a little awkward interaction as Ariel ends up coming over and telling Benson, that he appreciates the prank. He thought the prank was funny, yada yada yada. And he is totally oblivious to the huge argument that's going on right in front of him.
Bibba, de Arma, Vadish, Doba. Oh.
But while the four of them argue in this room, no one is really paying much attention to the conversation that's been taking place this whole time between Sunny and Jae Young. The two of them have been hanging out all afternoon, watching the rain and enjoying each other's company while they hang out in their underwear. A little interesting. So far, there's not the same flirting and fighting that's going on in the other room. It seems to actually just be on a friendship level and nothing more, which does make me respect Sunny a little bit more. We see Yolanda ends up coming in here, and she doesn't seem threatened at all. She ends up just getting herself a meal and hanging out, and for some reason, Robbie comes to join. I don't know why, but these Sims cannot avoid drama. Like, dude, you were just fighting with her. Why do you have to come hang out in her room? Like, hang out in your own room. Avoid the drama. I don't know. But he can't do that. Sunny ends up giving Yolanda a little kiss on the cheek to kind of assure her that nothing was going on between him and Jae Young. And he tries to take a nap. But it's kind of hard to take a nap when every single person is in your room. And for some reason, as you can see, Ariel is pissed when he returns to this room. I don't know why he's so mad at Robbie, but he just walks over to him and starts slapping the shit out of him. I have no clue why. And Benson ends up getting upset, but instead of fighting Ariel, he actually starts fighting Yolanda. And it's like, what? I get that Yolanda kind of started all of this drama by beginning to flirt with you. However, you did accept the flirtations. You did give her a hand massage. Like, what exactly is going on? Why is Ariel mad at Robbie when just a little bit ago he was getting a foot massage from him? It's all a bit bizarre. Meanwhile, we just see Jae Young just sitting there trying to watch television and Sunny just trying to take a nap. Eventually, though, Benson does turn on Ariel. He's like, why are you hitting my boyfriend? Why are you going after him? What is going on? And starts arguing with him. Meanwhile, Robbie flees the scene and goes into his own room to get some privacy as the argument continues to heat up. However, I really like how this argument kind of comes to an end. It's really kind of cute almost. Like, they're arguing and then they kind of realize that they're arguing about nothing. They're all just arguing because Yolanda kind of started some drama. Meanwhile, she's completely unfazed. She's over there cleaning this room, like, not paying any attention. And it almost turns to a little bit of a fake argument with like fake hitting, fake insults, and it ends up ending in a lot of laughter, which I find really nice. Like, I'm glad that at the end of the day, all of these Sims have had this shared experience and they are able, to put arguments aside and still continue to be friends. And maybe hopefully they'll all remain friends after this. But as we see, Benson does feel pretty bad for everything that happened with Yolanda, and of course he hates seeing Robbie this upset. I think this is the most upset Robbie has been throughout this whole entire thing, so he does kick Sunny out of his room and goes over to Robbie and starts making up for it. And it works, of course. I mean, duh, they're a perfect match. So instantly Robbie forgives him, and the two of them now get to have hot, steamy makeup woohoo. And now that the arguments have died down, Sunny is finally able to take that nap that he's been wanting. And we're going to end it on this group of Sims, this group of honeymooners. And we're going to go ahead and move on over to the last remaining two that we have over here. And that being Felicity and Jonas, and Bruno and Pace. So let's see what they're up to. And for some reason, I really don't know why, but when I turned on autonomy on this lot, all of these random ass townies showed up. I really don't know why, but they just started walking into all the rooms, just grabbing food out of the fridge. Like, who is this lady? Even Bruno is confused. He's like, what is going on here? Why was she able to just walk into my hotel room? But he is going to stand up for himself, though, obviously. He starts yelling at her. You know, they end up starting kind of to argue, and he does tell her that she needs to leave. I just don't know what exactly was going on there. Meanwhile, Pace missed this whole interaction because he's been outside on the beach building himself a sandcastle. And I just love how beautiful Sulani is. I feel like the best thing was to get your perfect match, because then you were able to just hang out with them on the beach and relax. But not on this lot, because we see that there is another townie who decided to come and join Pace. Meanwhile, Bruno resulted in just drawing a cute little heart in the sand, as he wasn't able to join his perfect match because of this freaking townie. So I don't know, this lot was getting on my nerves. I don't really know why that was happening to me. So instead, we're going to switch back on over to the house, where we have something very special planned. Now, I didn't show you Felicity and Jonas because they actually have a whole wedding plan today, and that's going on at the main house. Now, I thought it'd be pretty nice that we had this wedding here on the finale, as they are a perfect match, and they are now expecting to have a child soon. However, we know it's not Jonas's only child that's expected to come soon. But still, I thought we would honor this one. So, of course, here I am to the wedding. I'm going to officiate the whole thing, and we have brought everyone back together once again at the house to celebrate. And it's pretty nice to see all of our contestants here once again in the house. It kind of felt really weird, it just being 5 guys or 5 girls and 1 guy here. So it's nice to see them all together once again. It's so crazy to think that just 4 weeks ago they all moved in here, and now it's all coming to an end with a marriage, pregnancy, and of course we still have that final matching ceremony later on, where potentially everyone here can become pretty wealthy. But for now, let's go ahead and gather out on the back patio, where we have a nice little wedding set up, and we're going to start the ceremony.
Awesome.
Now, of course, my wedding stories wanted to be a little bit glitchy throughout this wedding, so it's not perfect. It is a little shotgun wedding, and of course, Felicity does have to pee, but I do think she looks amazing, and so does Jonas, and they really do look like Barbie and Ken. We see a lot of mixed emotions in the crowd. There's crying, there's complaining, there's, loving it, feeling romantic because of it. But then there's also like sheer annoyance and boredom. Like so many different emotions going on. But I just think this looks so pretty, and I think a wedding in Sulani is like the perfect place. Honestly, I like it better than Tortusa, whatever. But they are now exchanging rings, and it is official.
Whoa, Horn, huh? Oh, yes. Nada.
I think it's so cute how Felicity just completely manhandled him and went in for like that suave kiss. And then afterwards, when they tried to kiss again, they bumped noses. I don't know. It just shows off their like weird, quirky chemistry between the two of them, even though they're so stereotypical and like look like Barbie and Ken. I love how they really do have their own little cute personalities behind them. And of course, everyone's now going to stand up and throw some rice and celebrate while the couple goes inside. But they're not going anywhere. The wedding might be over, but the party has just begun. And we're going to throw a party here at the house. Now, as you can see, again, my wedding stories was being glitchy per usual. So instead of throwing rice, they all just stand around and look really awkward. And I wasn't even able to officiate it. I don't know. It's been a little bit of a mess, but that does describe their relationship. It's been fast and sudden, but perfect in their own way. And it looks as though everyone has to pee at this point. Good thing there's only 2 toilets here. I did not miss that whenever, this is when I'm like, oh yeah, this is why it's a bad idea to have so many people in one house. Oh yeah, it was kind of a lot easier when there was just 6 Sims here. But we do see that it looks as though Bruno is going to start chefing it up in the kitchen and making that cake for our bride and groom while they get refreshed in the bathroom. And some of the other house guests have decided that they're just going to party it up and get into the hot tub, explore the rest of the house that they've left for the past couple of days, and say goodbye to not only the house but each other as this whole experience comes to a close. I love that this is like kind of the last hurrah, and then it's actually a meaningful celebration and not just a party.
Oh, Chucha. Oh, Yamala. Oh, Chucha. Ooh,
Oh, Chucha.
The cake has been served, and as most of the house guests end up going outside to party on their own out there or to eat their cake and get some drink, while the couple finds a little bit of privacy, not quite privacy, but they find a little bit of time with one another to share their first dance and to kind of enjoy each other's company while everyone isn't up in their face and bothering them at this moment.
Schmazel. Yasanarp. Yambala.
Narimo. Oh, huh?
Ooh, a breath.
All right, and that concludes their wedding. And you know what that means. It's now time for everyone to head on over to the other side of the island and start our last matching ceremony. What have you guys thought about this series so far? What do you think about the wedding? What do you think about Jonas and Felicity? What do you think are going to be the final pairs? I don't know, all that stuff down below. Let me know all your thoughts on this series. Do you guys want to see a season 2 in the future? All that kind of stuff I'm really curious about. It looks as though some of our house guests look a little bit worried, a little bit sad, and not completely confident that they're going to get all these matches, but we'll have to wait and see. Are they going to go home completely empty-handed, or are they all going to share a lump sum of money and leave fabulously rich? Let's find out. All right, everyone, you know the drill. You so far have unlocked 5 perfect matches. However, 3 of these lights remain turned off. Tonight, you will all match up for the last time and see if you can light all 8 lights. If you cannot, you will all go home empty-handed, broke losers. But if you're able to match every perfect match, you will not only go home with love, but with a lot of money. Now, there's only 6 contestants left that have not been made into pairs. And I know it's been a bit of a struggle for them. You guys haven't necessarily found someone you can really connect to, and it sucks that it all lies on your shoulders, but it does. So let's go ahead and invite our only boy left, Vince, and see who he's closest to. Alright, so he has a couple options. However, obviously he's closest to Cassidy. The two of them have been hooked to each other's hips since she walked into the house, so he picks her. Now, just because they have great chemistry doesn't mean they're a perfect match, but we will find out soon enough. Vince and Cassidy, why don't you go on and take a seat with the rest of the pairs.
Varosh.
Oh, Sambo. Wamba boy Yambalala. Chongubi. Shamashu Kanui.
Benaya.
Risham. Slangy.
Alright, so we only have 4 girls left. And Rosalie, you are up. Now, Rosalie has had a bit of a tough time when it comes to love in the house. She hasn't really connected with anyone one-on-one that much, and she's kind of joined in a bunch of threesomes. But so far, she is closest to LaToya. LaToya and her share the most amount of love with one another, but it was a very close tie between her and Alice. So we'll have to wait and see. Was her perfect match with Alice, or is it going to be with LaToya? Not too sure. It looks as though LaToya is not too happy with this decision, though. Could this ruin it for everyone?
Chimere Jabin Slawfish. Payfin. Jabin. Dibblewis Varspa. Zator.
However, the storm that we have going on intensifies just to make it even more dramatic. I swear I didn't control the weather. If I did, I would have made it nice and sunny, but the lightning and the thunder really do shake up the house guests, and some of them end up getting a little bit too afraid to be sitting outside and start running around trying to find some kind of shelter. However, I don't think the best place to go for that is right beside huge electric spotlights. I don't know. Doesn't seem like the best move. So while I rally everyone back together and try to get them to take our seats, we only have 2 contestants left. So automatically, Alice and Kayla, you two are our final pair. Now, it's kind of hard to have some confidence in this as they're just kind of the leftovers, but hopefully luck is on their side tonight and they actually are a perfect match. So why don't you guys go on and take a seat. We're going to have to face the storm just a little bit longer as we wait and see how many lights turn on. Is it going to be a blackout? Are you guys going to get all 8? Let's find out. Alright, you have 1 light. So even though a blackout wouldn't matter tonight as you have to get all 8, that's still very good news. You have unlocked 1 more perfect match. But will you get the final 2? Way to go, guys. That is 7 lights lit. 1 more to go. And you guys did it. Congratulations, all my Sims. You have found every perfect match. All of you right now are sitting beside the love of your life, or according to me, and you all will be walking away with a large sum of money. It's so nice to see that they were all actually able to find their perfect match. What do you think of these couples? Of course, you can download all of them over on the Sims Gallery at Sims Hot Dogs and continue their relationship, maybe build them their own dream house, make them live together and start a family, especially with this married couple we have. And I'm just so happy with the season. It has been a complete mess from beginning to end, sloppy and crazy, but we are not done yet. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, because I have a brand new show coming for you. So why don't we go on and have a little sneak peek of what's to come. 24 Sims from every season on my channel return once again, this time to compete to find out who is the best season of them all. These Sims will live in a house together, vote for one another, and compete in teams of 4, but only one team will end up on top. There will be a new and grueling challenge every single episode. These Sims will face their biggest fears, test their physical limit, and compete to the death in the arena. All to win a life-changing amount of simoleons and be the best season of them all. But which one will win? This is The Sims 4 The Challenge, Battle of the Seasons. Coming soon to Sims Hot Dogs. Alright, so now that I've already gone and announced the series, let's go ahead and meet the cast of The Sims 4 The Challenge Battle of the Seasons. And the first one is my first ever series here on the channel, Sims 4 Big Brother US, where we have our top 4 contestants, Candace, Natalie, Donnie, and Jerry, with Natalie being the only Sim here to compete in the actual MTV The Challenge show. But will that give them an advantage over my next series, which was Sims 4 RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, where 12 winners competed to find out who is the best, and even in the end had their own Hunger Games. These 4 queens, BB, Jinx, Bianca, and Aquaria, all made it to the final 4. But can they do it again? Next up is Sims 4 Love Island, and this is definitely my most popular series to date, and I'm sure a lot of my Beanie Weenies found me through this series, so I'm sure you cannot wait to find our 2 final couples competing once again, that being Joffrey and Allison, and Vivian and Marcus. But will they be able to recover from the finale of their show to compete all together in a team? Next up, we have Sims 4 Survivor Oasis, which is probably my favorite series to date, and we have our final 4 contenders, 2 of those being actual winners of the show, Fabio and Tina, and 2 of them being some of our favorite townies, Bella and Nina. And this is my version of Nina, not the weird updated one, okay? But will they be able to survive the challenge house? However, I have some faith in the Sims 4 Big Brother UK team that they'll be able to handle the house, as they handled the craziest house we've had here on the channel, where you guys voted every single week for who you wanted to go home, and in the end voted for your winner, that being the orange-skinned, blonde-haired Isabel. But will she be able to win again with her team? Gotta find out. Last but not least, we have our Sims 4 Are You the One series, where we have our first 2 confirmed perfect matches. And I guess this is what they were doing when they were inside the honeymoon suite. So that concludes our cast of the Sims 4 Challenge Battle of the Seasons. What season do you think is going to win? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.